Good morning, children. So here we are on Wednesday, the 3rd of February 2021. Short date 3-2-21. And today we are going on to lesson 8. Can you believe we're on to lesson 8 on 2D shape, children? Nearly at the end of this chapter. You'll need to find page 71 in textbook 2B. And today we are describing patterns with 2D shapes. Yesterday, if you remember, we were making patterns. Today we are describing patterns. So we're still looking at patterns, but today we're describing patterns. And for today's lesson, children, I want to remind you first of all, okay, of the difference between an odd and even and an even number. I know you all are going to say, we know that, we know what an odd number and what an even number is. But if you can't remember, now would be the time to think about it, because it will be really helpful for today's lessons. If you can remember that our odd numbers, okay, in the ones column, we'll have a 1, a 3, a 5, a 7, or a 9. And our even numbers in the ones column will have, I know you're going to tell me, a 0, I just want to pretend, a 0, a 2, a 4, a 6, or an 8. So look, our even numbers are going up like our 2 times table, aren't they? The multiples in our 2 times table. Okay, so that might be useful, a useful reminder at the start of the lesson. Okay, just a little tip for you. Let's have a little look then at the in focus task, as we always do together. In focus, do you know the names of these shapes? Oh, okay, well, I know you know that's a circle. I think most of you would know that that was a semicircle. Now, that's a half of a semicircle, okay? So we call that a quarter circle. It's not difficult, is it? That's a full circle, that's a half circle, and that's a quarter circle. Sam used 2 of these shapes, the circle and the semicircle, to make his pattern. First he uses a semicircle, then he uses a circle, then he uses a semicircle, then he uses a circle. What's the 5th shape? I hear you all crying out. Well, of course, it's a semicircle. Okay, I know you spotted that. But the tricky question is, how about the 50th shape? Now, we could, children, couldn't we, sit and draw circles and semicircles until we got to our 50th shape. But there's a quicker way of working it out. Let's work this out together. So here we've got Ruby telling us that this is a circle. We've got Ravi telling us this is a semicircle, and Amira confirming what Mrs. Eade said, that this is a quarter circle. And then in part 2 of Let's Learn, okay, we're told that the 5th shape is a semicircle. Well, we'd figured that out, haven't we, children? Here, we'd figured that out from the pattern. So the next question is, what is the 10th shape? To help us, we've got the pictures of the semicircles and the circles here. So that's our 6th shape, our 7th shape, our 8th shape, our 9th shape, our 10th shape is a circle. Let's work through this together. The 2nd shape is, ta-da! Oh, it's, there we go, a circle. Well done. The 4th shape is a circle. The 6th shape here is a circle. The 8th shape is, I'm going to copy it. Oh, no idea. No idea what happened there. I just want to copy the word circle. Okay, and paste. Oh, there it is. And the 10th shape is another circle. Okay, so circle, 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 circle. Each of those second, fourth, sixth, eighth and 10th shapes are all circles. So what should we have noticed, children? Going back to my odd and my even numbers. Yes, I hear you all crying. Out to me that the second, fourth, sixth, eighth and 10th are all even numbers and they're all circles. So if all the even numbered shapes are circles, what are all the odd number shapes going to be? Semicircles. What is the 20th shape? Well, 20 is an even number. So it's going to be a circle. 50 is an even number. So that is also going to be a circle. Okay. See how your odd and even numbers helped there? See how they helped? Good. So in guided practice, you're asked to figure out what the 12th shape is going to be in this first set of shapes. So we are describing the patterns and figuring out what the shapes are going, what shape's going to be 12th here, okay, in all of these A, B, C and D questions. So we're given the first shape, then we've got to observe the pattern. So let's do this first couple together. The first one, triangle, rectangle, triangle, rectangle, triangle, rectangle, triangle, rectangle. We want to know what the 12th shape is going to be. Do we need to do this? Triangle, rectangle, triangle, rectangle, triangle, rectangle until we get to the 12th shape? Or could we use our odd and even number facts to help us? Well, my prediction is that if the 12th shape, and 12 is an even number, okay, and the shapes are alternating odd and even, so all the odd numbered shapes are the same and all the even numbered shapes are the same, then our 12th shape is going to be an even number shape, so it's going to be a rectangle. But let's check that, shall we? First shape, triangle. Second shape, rectangle. Third triangle, fourth rectangle. Fifth triangle, sixth rectangle. Seventh triangle, eighth rectangle. Ninth triangle, 10th rectangle. 11th triangle, 12th is a rectangle, because if you see, the pattern goes in an odd and even order. And so the odd numbers, okay, are going to be triangles and the even numbers are going to be rectangles, and 12 is an even number, so it's going to be a rectangle. Do you see how that worked? Okay, let me draw a little circle around our 12th. A bit of a messy circle. Shall I do that again? I know you like me to be really neat, don't you? There. That's a bit better. So that's our 12th shape and it is a rectangle. What about the pink triangles? Well, okay, so our shapes are the same, but they go big, small, small, even smaller, big, small, even smaller, big, small, even smaller. So can we use the odd and even strategy here? Not so well. Definitely not going to work, is it? Because our second one's an even number. Okay, our third one's an odd number, but it's not the same as our number one. So we're working in threes here, children, aren't we? So we're going to have to figure out, okay, we could use our 3 times table facts, or we could just draw the shapes, whatever you find easiest. So first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 7th, 8th. We've got to get to 12. Okay, shall I see if I can find a pink? Okay, it's not quite the same pink, but we've got big, middle, small, bigger, middle-sized, small, bigger, middle-sized, small, bigger, middle-sized, small. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So our 12th shape is a smaller triangle, okay? A smaller triangle, the smallest size there. Right, I'm going to leave you to have a go at the next two, and then let's have a little look at question 2. What is the first shape? Oh, we're given the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, and 9th, and we've got to figure out the first shape. And here we're given the 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th, but we've got to figure out the first shape. Now, it might be possible to use our odd and even number facts, okay, if each shape changes, okay, in 2s, like here. But if the shapes do not change odd and even every time, then we're going to have to think of a new strategy, aren't we, at figuring out the pattern. And it might be drawing them, or we might be able to work it out in our head if we know our table facts. Okay, so I think there's a little bit more challenging than yesterday's work. So if you don't get on to worksheet 8, pages 57 and 58, don't worry, okay? Because you're going to be drawing and manipulating all these shapes to figure out here the 12th shape and here the first shape. So you're going to have to go that way, aren't you? You're going to have to go in that direction to figure out. Oh, I'm going to try and make my arrow look a little bit more like an arrow. So you're going that way to find the first shape, okay? Whereas up here, you're going that way to find the 12th shape. So you're going to have to work backwards there. But you're given a good indication of the pattern here in the pictures. It's just whether or not you could use your odd and even number facts to help you, or whether you're going to need multiples of something else. Okay, right. If you do finish that in less than an hour, then you know what comes next. It is your worksheet 8, describing patterns. And the first question says, what is the 15th shape? That's interesting, isn't it? Well, I know 15 is an odd number. So does my odd and evens work with that pattern? We'll have to have a little look. 15th shape here, would our odd and even work here? Don't think so. No, because they're, you see, you've got 3 different sizes of shape, haven't you? Here you've only got 2. What about here? Semicircle, rectangle, shaded rectangle, semicircle, all facing the other way. Okay, so you're going to have to think carefully. Really, I think you're going to have to definitely draw the patterns to be able to figure out exactly what the 15th shape is going to be. I'd recommend that you drew them. And then question 2, what is the first shape? Oh, again, so you're going in that direction. You're figuring out what the first shape was. You're given the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. You need to figure out the first one. And here and here. Okay, I think this might be quite challenging for some of you, but remember you can draw the shapes. Okay, you can draw the shapes to help you to figure out the patterns. And I'd recommend you did that today. Good luck, children, on exploring and describing the patterns with using all those different 2D shapes.